This is Boadu TV. Truth and integrity.
Now the Ghana Police Service is paying for that. The minister in charge of interior now to announce you. Jesus Christ, Ghana say, stop telling us this rhetorics and act. Munya jumana munya kasa bebrebero. That's the kasa said the edibabe jumadia.
Mraba president aguru na for demonstration na wo ye no. What are the basis?
Na che say MPP for demonstration na mo ye no. Ivan che say woman ni business bia, woman ni nyina so bia. O mampanyi se mo se wobu emra so a ana wafom emra ben e na wobu yi so ana ofom ye monka eno so muntimi nka. Enti argument no eno no. JB nso kire say NDC for kasa dodo. NDC for mo kasa. Adwuma no ye de ahyemonsa 2 minute kutam. Nti se obi aba no obedi o mani sika nya fe na mbeka na we ba no obedi 10 million na we obedi 20 no de fa na ye den monche no nipa ni wi monche no edubu ahen monche no NSS mo se rot bi akoso ho mo efom hunya monche mo na munya kasa ne do so nti kasa se de zen ko bi abetima yo na motewa ma Afenyo abo police ni asom muntimi nche no besi sabrewi muntimi nche no NDC for yedi mu ya pa wa fire na mo se Afenyo so se na police ni epem ba ko pem ne bona den oh yes oboa
vehicular movement, human traffic are blocking because of somebody's activity be all year. It also undermines my rights, my freedom of movement.
Of course.
It's in the fact to say, oh, your demonstrations, or your key features, or whatever you call it. It shouldn't also undermine my freedom of movement. To a point where made
the crown body as a production team be allow because MPP or boycott media general.
But why wasn't an MPP protest? We saw a couple of MPP people. But the MPP as a party and organizing that particular demonstration.
Are you sure?
Yeah, no.
Now say
we saw a couple of MPP people, a lot of them. Me who General Secretary, me who Afenyo marking, me who I don't know who Kwakwapia, me who Akwesi Kunedu, MP for Menshianov. I saw a lot of them.
Minority leader.
Yes, America.
Granting interviews.
But but some of them are an NPP protest is MPP for national that's some organizing protests like this. But honestly speaking, say yes, starting the man kiti be say a call for dialogue. Emma, all the wadrin bar, the wadrin cheba, be the wadrin cheba, you put them together and we have a very peaceful discourse. And then the Emma Ghana to me jina ye. But obi bi a na je say. Obe undermine obi susu movement. Sandy Pakwa the disaster spray ebe fraction out. Yenya bra for katomra.
Onia machi fa be woso. Nyumekwa aso yasin. Sasso insecticide spray and coil.
If there is one thing I want to put across.
Go ahead.
The Ghana Police Service, as a matter of agency, should arrest the minority leader.
Why then?
The Ghana Police Service within 24 hours. Nasa muankasamu hu ebia na mu hu. But police nina Afenyo market tin and sabo no. Imagine say any other person now. By this time, that said person will be behind bars. It is a IGP in case of your video no. The said police officer assaulted wo ebisoso na wo find serious or probably you were oh yeah, BB, just to satisfy your paymasters. Ebiana, you were part of the demonstration in disguise. Maybe you're not shattering, but now you're part of the demonstration. But the level of impunity, and this also by full-time status, especially coming from the minority, it is so heavily unacceptable. How can a theater go say be a demonstration or whatever you call it? Now, security officers ever be blocked or said this place you dare not enter this place or you dare not cross this line or whatever provocation it was. Now, a theater what me you will send your more police in that room. Now that's what I'm here. Some police in crowd, you say Bill Johnny Baby, he was part of the official security men and they were on duty. Say, me Jamie na me yes idea we are. Na ke betwe me sa akukọ. Anase me betwe me sa ponti bi. Every ni penim. And makọ aye de so mo ye bia. Because the few e bia na me just an ordinary citizen. But wait. Some minority leader. And let me also say, Enra, he wasn't performing his duty as a parliamentarian. Enra, demonstration of course, and then the Afenyo market, and then some Nima, of course, he wasn't performing his duty as a minority leader. So, a honorable case of what you know, because or enjoy any immunity. You attack somebody or a security personnel in uniform performing his duty as a security personnel for and on behalf of the good people of Ghana. Or no, a China was the friend of Barrett, right? A coat of arm, a bomb. And you dare not touch anybody with that kind of beret. I will put it on. Now, what was say? Oh, yet the old person wakuma pe. Eti yenyao na yen the old person we ye. It is a security officer and say on penem ma wo ko and cross that line now. What to me nya kukudro? Et me you will say and they are shinasum. Na police officers are mujina honomo. Na mo so mo hwe ni pakron sa say onye dey. All sorts of my colleague. Can any of your friends say, any of the police officers, and can any member ever to be a parliament and now come for your market office? So, what sortie after your market office and ready? Here, maybe I'm going to Sam George. And Sam George, Sam George. It was during an elections, right? By elections, how I was always we go. Some George out of whatever, from nowhere, then armed guys started to burn some rough. He never retaliated. And he doesn't enjoy any immunity because any official duty are not performing as a parliamentarian, as a member of parliament. No. Or you no meant to be because that time not too many kuta na that Kufano and the NPP as at that time. Emma police ni your police ni man be chantro. And it's not get for you now before a commission. Yeah, they wait Sam. And some na kogu and kwa faso bia maso. Then power sisa. Now say wo your keep it or your demonstrations or your whatever you call it. No police near or no who catch the summer go who buy. Who what me you will say? And the his police in that so. No police for mu danger honomo. No more what when the gani say. No more the share for your market say. Oh, what bonus so be it. So I have for your market. So what? No police for them with other motion. Hey, where's the democracy now? Now let me ask you this very interesting question. Is it the same Ghana? And for the last 8 years, yes, we are saying Ghana. But it's not a Kobian Yabo. Now Kobia Swati. Now Kobi Diboja Neko. And I remember this guy. Is it Coca? Yeah, Koka, I think one of the entertainment pundits or whatever. I saw one of the videos, and he was heavily embarrassed by the Ghana Police Service. Some personnel within the Ghana Police Service. And Abuja Ebramno. Some of them were, I mean, he was heavily harassed. Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, I don't know what happened. But if or no, Ghana Police Service personnel say, hey, I had to be my because Moja everywhere. Go! Now what to me in Yakukudo, not Ghana Police Service for which they hold in less than 24, and you people are still sitting there just because of your Afenyo market. Hey, is it democracy we want as Ghanaians? Some minority leaders are to be a unison, and they are sure be assumed for whatever reason. And the Pakonisha Beretta, coat of arm, a bossful. Jesus Christ. Now yet it is animal because of you say or was out to me no or that right or that freedom. No. Here, the Ghana Police Service, I am tempted to believe you say more you are arresting the wrong people. The Ghana Police Service, you are arresting the wrong people, and as a matter of fact, you are not serious in what you are doing. Sir, na kajabiti hai na yesi ye demonstration and ye bibi na metumi atemensa. Say police no provoke me and as me provoke no and out of whatever provocation no metumi ye me say na me say me dey born assume and me dey born ha na the pakoni jina ho. Ni yasa man the kwani yasa protect sa the pakoni say what born assume there but still that be say nyanko. Hey, what be that? What be that? Go to elsewhere. Go to elsewhere. Now, quite sad, no better pocket. And you see, you're so Sunday marketing, kitty business, say, na. Our question, okay, Jemmy, yasem, but Afenyo, yasem, because he is in a privileged position. Ladies and gentlemen, Ghana is nobody is bigger than Ghana. Now Ghana Police Service when I'm at it I said I am fair. Say Afenyo market a board police ni back assume or a junior rank. It is an IGP na keja honomo. Na Afenyo market betumi anya kukudra in assume. Whichever level of provocation. Say ni pakwa say police ni po. Say yo, say police ni po. And a year na say okay, say Afenyo afun kwan. It you at the sako can no catch and say hey go back. It is an IGP. Na Afenyo betumi anya sako kudro no ayi ne nsa atono twede. Na police officers are one lining up. Na buja na mo sha say o assault one kasa mo fellow police officer. What kind of integrity are you people trying to protect? What kind of integrity are you people trying to protect? Because look, na there and there, and you arrest, you cause this arrest. Woman didn't cause you anything because Enra, then what presentation or you cause unnecessary tension, unnecessary traffic along the road, and you cause it and unnecessary, pressure. It will chroma. Not vehicle movement to me, to me, ma. Nipa to me, ma. You spend several minutes and hours in the car just because of what someone say. I am a democratic right, which I agree. But mind you, sir, obviously, also quite a baby. Our activities are undermining also the democratic rights. Because there's freedom of movement everywhere. And it shouldn't be taken for granted. But what does the police also say? What does the law also say about assaults? Say, I can't be assault, I said, just say. na yetimi anya kukudro na Ghana Police Service yetimi ahwe no hwe ha say just because the minority leader in parliament, but as at that time, let me tell you, as at that time, he wasn't performing his duty as a member of parliament. No. So that immunity as at that time was off. And what now to be dragging? You drag him and question him, say, who are you to touch a police officer who is performing his duty as an official person? Nabo yedi Ghana had to say. And over the last 8 years, demonstrations are so bloody. And the same, how do we say? Flagstaff House, how do we say? And this guy, demonstration hub, right? Hey yo, must say how do we a security zone? So nobody there goes there. More the police for heavily armed police officers. I could see arrest at the check boys in the brain. Even though more going now, under your administration. And there, what me and Kukudro, at me and ya, sir, confidence no, and now didn't them, and the police for most so, sir, where are so nim emra? Come on. Ghana is not a cheap country. IGP, don't take things for granted. Because where to be in your to be a show personal about Kwasuma, and it's equal to slapping you, the IGP. And if so, what to be in your will be assumed or personal about Kwasuma, it is equal to slapping you, the IGP, and it's equal to slapping the states of certainly if I just because of you say, I mean, oh boy, why? This is not about release. The Ghana Police Service, with all due respect to you, it is not about release. Causes arrest. But you know, this is what is it? Inviting somebody for what? But this time I come out on the party because we are Kwayena Juma as a member of parliament too. As somebody see, I don't know a member of parliament. He demonstrated as a demonstrator. Or as a demonstrator. In what capacity? And your members of parliament said they called the demonstration. A coalition be and the market come one boom. But who just think about it? So coalition will not come one boom. Not a member of parliament about joining that coalition now. No who be what's it because of a member of parliament and he is a minority leader and he's a and so what? Ask yourself. Say, who now, yes, I did that. If you call who power, yes, I did, no, but police for me at show. Because of yeah, never be a woyano and for Mukamu. Here, for the benefit of clarity, but person workers out here now feeling the pain. Now, there's a certain assembly of Ghana Police Service. But let me also say, yeah, demonstration, we were not interested in covering the demonstration. Yeah, uncle. It will be video on social media, and yes, you have be. Not because, but it's something that is very, very important. Sir, Nakajebi, Namhadu Musea. Na question me police me person me call hard the police is on my main call. Na me yeah out of whatever. No me say no machine soon. Na me nam ho. Hey! Just because you think that man is so human than any other Ghanaian. Or you nipa aboja e dia fusa no woni mu e chan Ghana phobia. Oboso te baby obo de 2 minutes de man no. In other case, who made him who he is now? It is the good people of Ghana, the good people of Efutu made him who he is right now. Not want to be a disrespected police officer in the barracks decorated with coat of arms. Hey! Onim. Me for now, I am not interested in the Ghana Police Service more release. To me a bogus. Go and arrest the man because he wasn't performing his duty as a member of parliament as at when that issue happened. Period. Tamana oh yes sadia no now nya member of parliament o one coin the name and your parliamentary duty near Casabia or enjoy immunity. If you are not so come, Nasibedjem, and Nasa no yam Nasibedja, Muajubi, and Nasa or enjoy it. Now, if you are enjoy that immunity, no, it doesn't work like that. Way of a demonstration out of no own free will, out of the freedom he enjoys as a Ghanaian, and also a demonstration. And a Ghana Mrasu say, so, oh, yeah, what did Tasukoko say? And he said, on my a bomb before a go who buy. Now, a buying bomb before I got a police service. A go who buy. What was say? Obiase wa before. And I was yet say, oh, ye what to me you will say? And ya to the chadie. Now, got a police service for a who for that which now we say. When we know who for, we don't know what shall say. Uncle, for what? Can you do this over the last 8 years? The last 8 years, you dare. You dare. So I can't wait. What does I can't wait? Now I did what you want. Now the Ghana Police Service is paying for that what you want. Now Mutaka, the minister in charge of interior. Now to announce you. Jesus Christ, Ghana say. Nipa na ya say ya kwakwache no and I say ya no demonstration ya plead bi ade amano no say nipa kwa no way. Where is that person? What is that? Where is that person? And the ultimate question, Nipa, what is the NPP? And for that matter, almost a Ghana for what are you people afraid of? See, I said that Chief Justice Mko, you suspended no. You say Ghana legal. You see, this is not even something that was started by John Dramani Mahama. It was started by your own Nana Akufo-Addo and your own party. Megwa. Chief Justice says me, it was started by your own political party. And John Dramani Mahama, himfa and a John Dramani Mahama etiamra. Muda mo akasa munka. Ahifa and John Dramani Mahama, what's Yamra? Yes, it's your democratic right to demonstrate. But the question is, what are you people afraid of? What are you people afraid of? And they say a suspended Chief Justice. Okay, the suspension, no, you hear the credit, but you saw my beam. This is how they say. In other case, he's not coming back. So what are you people afraid of? You see, when you package black and white TV. Now the Baba Ghana for say a color TV. Now later Ghana for you need 10 years who say a black and white. You just want to make the original colored one. Say that if you have no cause to worry, you don't have anything to hide, you have nothing to be afraid of her. More how they say. Yeah, you Chief Justice. That's not quite special. More how they say. In any case, right myself, me and myself, baby. Chief Justice here, I'm going to me. And they say, when John Dramani Mahama say, based on conduct ABCD, any summer advisor, the Council of State in the Amano, any petition and confronted by based on that, yes, say, Uncle Suspension, Quentin, home will be a crack. Hey, Namo, Munia, what you call pie. Now we're more young demonstration. No, if I have a police in the assume, not in a bottom just like that. Come on, what level of impunity is this? And then the grasses Nipa Unimra, Nipa Unim, Wunawasabra. You are part of the kingmaker, you are part of the lawmakers. Hey, you're not just an ordinary person, no. But on that score, as at that time, you were not a member of parliament. Me Ghana Police Service muntie the ye. As at that time, Afenyo no a member of parliament. He demonstrated in his capacity as an individual on the freedom of association, freedom of movement, freedom of whatever. I saw the demonstration, so be it. It is Wakoye Bibi, Nasa, it's your Ganamra. And what not tell na one come on man, what sit up matamno. Ah, Nakabades and Kodani Bineho. Who police this one and one. He will give that utmost respect to that police officer. Mr. IGP, with the greatest of respect and humility to you, let me ask you, can I attack any police officer and go scot-free and come and write a statement to defend whatever action that I did? Mr. IGP, with all due respect to you, I am asking you again. Me met me the Mesa police in the B. Number go free. Now me have a trust statement to say me the defending the entire me police in the nation. Let me ask you. I would dare not do that. Yeah, the police can provoke you. That is why you know it. When I say, now what to be you will say about police there. So now I'm going to move free. Now gonna for here. Now deep in a mono. Come on, now better statement to say end. That's it. What end? Mr. IGP, it's over to you because Ghana for any that also say. Whoa, oh, you're no nonsense man. You're no nonsense man. And the public say, oh, bit to me attack police officer. Why attack you? So attack also, so attack your money now. Because you're the to me. I want the security system. And for that matter, the Ghana Police Service, yeah, they are showing that as the Inspector General of Police and Minister of Interior, Mutaka, please, in case they haven't seen the video, remind the police officer or the IGP to go and cause his arrest now. Because as a matter of fact, to send a bit of all yes, at demonstration, he wasn't performing his duty as a parliamentarian. So he doesn't join the immunity. Ebia so na kwaso bi na all kwaye parliamentary duty. And a BBSC here, and the order so yin is the book police ni na ke bia obetumi aka tese mu chechire mu. But out of whatever, hey, not maybe pretty and we say, not about me and you, some police there so why? Never doubt, they are sapa macho, honorable, oh yeah. Now, Basaso Quatas, Maquatam office, no matter office of the minority leader. When you are doing that, were you the minority leader? I got a pill. I got a pet, that's as who will meet me. Say, I got a heavy beam. And you got a heavy beam. How can you attack the police and go scot-free and still be walking around and have the luxury of time to write a statement or they have the luxury of time to write a release as a minority leader? At the time you were doing that, you were not the minority leader. Your minority leadership ends in parliament. Simple. And Uncle Baby, in the quest of performing your duty as a parliamentarian, that is where you are recognized as a minority leader and in parliament as a minority, not when you are demonstrating. And when demonstrating say minority caucus for and I'm also more demonstration. No, it wasn't like that. That demonstration pass side attraction, that senior man for the bidding name. That senior man. But and no, media general had to say, Trota de Sia Muse. Me kwa for the Diana Negum. Me kwa for Unqua, senior man for Unqua. You understand the senior man? Messiana, Mama media general had to say, me kwa for senior man for Unqua. Junkies, Guan and Negu Castle. Now we must have a demonstration. My demonstration, yes, fair enough. It's your civil rights. It's all right, no problem. You can do it. But do not, in any way, undermine the integrity of the Ghana Police Service. Not Ghana Police. That is why I keep saying, you people keep arresting the wrong people. I feel minorities, I feel more Ghana. You see the Ghana we want, where everybody can express him or herself anyhow he or she likes. And yesterday, I loved the response of the Deputy Chief of Staff, Stan Dogbe. I loved the response. Because one more time, the can't be president was here in Ghana, you would dare not. Mr. Nakabadis and I can confirm 20 and not 30 gum. No, I can't be out of a job to our court, and they can be judges for what's that case, and they are remanding war. We know what happened to we know what happened to Ni and the democracy have. A peaceful demonstration without any provocation or without anything. Those people, those young guys were arrested and detained It means your judges, I will come and we say, Emma, what this uncle for when Sam? Hey, no more, no more, someone who could roll. No more, what to me, you will say, what to me, you will say, now there are more police in us. No police, one and one emotional. Boy, I did you can't afford hell. Where near the federal FASM, and your friend, a military letter, Speaker of Parliament said, Mr. Speaker, yesterday a video that went viral and one of your members misconducted himself, so kindly release him. No, after that time he was not performing his duty as a parliamentarian. Go and arrest him. Simple. He wasn't performing his duty as a member of Parliament. Simple. Number 2, it has come to the attention of the president. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama said, most of the appointees and declare more assets. Look, I like the approach. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Edinam. And on the timeline they are too so. Amenra Kasibia Yedebe as president, not as a president, but as an individual who occupies the position as a president. We declare those cars. I'm a Ghana for you who say, maybe your presidency will be a car body member and say, oh, John Dramani Mahama, but your car made a chair with you. Bet me you sue. I did made a chair with you, bet me you sue. We declare all those things for people to see, for Ghanaians to know and see. And what president now you try about man no. On what declare the assets. I declare the properties are all. What I try about farmer now when you to me fear be now dating baby no. What's the name? Only declare. John Dramani Mahama say, one more timeline. Now so ya buafa ho. You see, and this asset declaration, I have a very big issue with it. Yes, you declare what asset a fashion emblem. Nafako, you know what it means? Do you know what it means? Say, what let's say properties in a what declare what asset area no. Fako come paying for now the come on a once ya no. So it presupposes to tell me, say, okay, I have a future plan. So better die, better sasu trasako. No matter die or honomo. So you can list all of them and target it. Say within the next 4 years, this is what I'm going to accomplish. And of course, okwa asset declaration in moi. That's what me achieve. What those things will be captured in the asset declaration. Do you know what it means? But a formality, quiet, simple. Na fa woody, na call baby. Because most of you have, most of you. We know most of you. We know what people do. More private life as a politicians. It is a name you don't compromise with it. In other cases, Excellency John Dramani Mahama says that, or no, your president, no, or no, get afforded to me the man, no, or no money declare the assets. What's why they? What do you have to hide? Or no, he's led an example. Or say, me, ya better be car no enu state ni mo factor. It is a cars a hold fleet of cars on my pay ni wa ya de car ya fan car a buy cars ho. Please, that code of conduct abaya set here to one say obia and declare the assets, all appointees and declare the assets. Look, with all due respect to any appointee, mutumi yes idea way now it says more respecting the laws of our land, because it is captured in our constitution say you declare assets. As a declaration, yes, all these things just a mere formality. Yes, formality. It's ya church me future plans, metro dial trasako, may way or ha, Meko filling station, my way, now they are called Yembiem, Neda Honomo, Home. It's well until some who be somewhere. Emra ebe demand say go and bring your assets the declaration. That's alone. near to home. Yes, yet. Jenia who must roar, sir. Jenia who must roar, sir. And you see, some of these things, John Dramani Mahama, His Excellency, Ghana phobic castle you slow. But I mean, you are still with your 120 days honeymoon. You are still enjoying your honeymoon. In as much as you are tactical, administrative work. Now where or how many I say. It is very, very important to say. I never do a more. His Excellency, with all due respect, oh my nature. Oh my nature. And it looks like some tactical approach to more. Nah, and for please, now substitution. Because the fight against Galamsey is becoming worse. It's becoming worse. Yes, as well as with all due respect to you, the fight against Galamsey is becoming worse to a point where a minister can come before a camera and cry like a baby. I mean, what is that? No, it tells me that things are not going on well. It tells me that they're fat. It tells me that I need yes, I didn't see. Whichever a woman will be, this is the time you need to take pragmatic, bold steps, bold approach. Say, hey, enough of this, and enough of that. So you dare not do that, but then go to most of the sites I want Ghana how to say NDC for their home. NDC for their home. Ministers and they are monk for echo. Among them security personnel, echo pay home. But like His Excellency John Dramani Mahama said, you will suffer a very severe punishment if you don't declare your assets. The Chief of Staff for say, "Sir, code of conduct we are yedema musia to send the musia Bible. Na to send the running body house. Yes, say a good timer. He say yes, you are there and for her. Prep time, yeah, nanti rough officer. Na so who muso now kwa nanti wana ye chewa." I love this man. I love this man. Me faha na ubo who's na be faha no mo a me ka say president ye madam for because president so ye madam for no problem. Oya madam for e no ye say no fa you go see no problem. Na say ekoba say e so ya say oh that's a chief of staff with this Julius. Me ka just manage contractor the wa chire wi. The only way you cannot reach out to the president is when they are about removing you. Finito. Where simplicity, this is a president who thinks about his country. President Oje or Mapania or Jenny Manfo, no name said, let us put a long-term plan, approach, near solving leadership crisis, near solving corruption and corruption-related issues. And only Adia President Dramani Mahama Eye. And when he's done with that, I am sure on Wakasa Kasa on the 5th of January 2025 and the 7th of January 2025 when he hands over officially. Obama Ghana for you now who say why where he has left a mark. Is it 2028? Yeah, 2028. When leaving a certain mark be Boadu Ghana for you now. Then finally, Office of the Special Prosecutor. Where is Keno Foriata? No, but I mean, it's not funny. Office of the Special Prosecutor. Where is Ken Oforiata, the finance minister? Why now you should read a letter to say, or your crowfo, young fish and Adamibwa? And another reply, the brow was on young crowfo, neighbor more diarrhea pass or jayar here. It is like diarrhea pass or diarrhea head on mouse, so maybe we drew had on the 5th of May. That was Enra. Until we expected send Enra by this time. I mean, they say, will be an account. Wababe drew that so me drew. Office of the Special Prosecutor, Kise Jabed, where is Ken Oforiata? Please provide him. He gave you a date and he cannot fail the good people of Ghana. And all other appointees, I have from me now. Remember, when you say Mujan, more question. More question. No, if you have nothing to hide, if you haven't stolen anything, if you do not have Ghana's property in your pocket or in your coffers, Ujana Kohe. What else have a year? Me am no offer. Or yes be National Service Authority or National Service Secretariat or National Service Scheme. I mean any name you can call it. Offer. With all due respect to you, why you do so? Abua Ghana. It is so beautiful. But when something is not going on well, near floor for interrogation, it is within your powers to appear before a commission or to appear before any state or own institution and be invited for interrogation. Simple. Because why would you maybe here? They say, Gihok. Papa, every Friday, be another 40,000 coffee. Please, enough of this story, so yeah, bro. Ghana, for you suffered under Nana for the last 8 years. Don't come and give us any stories. Use the law, Mama running your Juma. That we just have stories and I'm catch the Ghana for saying any day. Sir, so in the last 8 years, now 4 years, now every Friday be now Maso Kofi Juma Kofia or the 40,000 ko day. What am running the hard way? What is the use of the Ghana Police Service? What is the use of the law? Please stop telling us this rhetorics and act. Hey, that's a second Kasa said the Edibaba Jumadia. National Service Authority, ye call Honorable Crown now in Kunya Credit for no problem. Please, where is the man? He's not dead, he's alive. So all these things might be put to stop. Simple.
MPP for demonstration here beko yi me feel say enkaba nkokra nkeye
omo ankwa na nkeye
bebo abe pa
ade
yenti America ne say party a yetu abawi no egu what ase ha nti obi a ufie she anase say na waja ho se me kwa akon de nyansa bi ani se okọ akon no na se udi nkunim na oba fi a oba be de
oba oni baby abetna because of fear
enti enye nyansa de in the first place nipa bia na advice NPP for no se benye demonstration bia sa nipa no e betamfo kese pa
nipa bi otu MPP for so many demonstration
for se benye sa demonstration we no
or MPP for time
or MPP for time for kese pa.
I see.
Because anybody can catch on say ufie say anaja da ufie na waja ho se me kwa akon o de granted say akon na akọ no wakudi nkunim obeba beduru na ufie so asay ene ya me no wo kasa yi no NPP any leader.
Only leader is chairman. Chairman of the party is the leader, the national chairman.
Ah, na niebe ye uhu say be guided by any leadership. Any leader, any amino kasa any leader obia ye ne ope. Enti se betena ase na nka behwe kwan pa bebe fa so a bebetumi aka party yabo na batumi de akọ 2028 elections no. Baja was say beko demonstration and sankro fu kro ya beko demonstration beden rach ya besore say beko thank you to thank you to no be start ye hui be ya hu ba bia be diko wie and they will be sabe say thank you to no asisen ya benim what you say anti demonstration ya beko in the first place no wrong inu kwanse beko
I see.
Ne uye no so kra firi ho a sa chief justice insensem yi no ba nkasa benim se anamontu abetui enkosi ba bia
anamontu enkosi
hwe including chief justice na nkasa no herself no enim se ne MPP for eye eni ni obi bia eye bia no sa nipa kro to twede ehwe wiem
as a wiem say na
atotwede nipa no to twede ehwe enka obia enkosi hwe chief justice president mama a suspend no wa onti ase epo no eni akiri ewo haya manches bo enye de tofuo anase petru ko twaja tupuru.
Oh how But that is a democratic institution.
Yes,
and
the sad democracy now all can one sem na no any my president kwan say obi petition say chief justice ye niema bi a enu kwan say oye enti yinu free ho no ma constitution no che say one o council of state emfa ho adwen na ho set up a 5-member committee na say 5-member committee no ehun say say uyina dia ana say uyinu free ho a na wayina free ho president mama dan me catch you say president mama enkan no ba bia da say opeso yi chief justice nipakuo bi mo ne ayeden aka say chief justice ni nyuma a oye ngukuru ma asi no emwa enti onye den onyini mfiri honom president mama mfiti prekopen country chief justice say kofie the constitution no ehye no say onye den on consult with the council of state no oye ben set up a 5-member committee no why into a constitutional mandate no no or perform into say o sorry ka say o ko offense demonstration and say ya wunya so ne ye de o ye say den ye ne den what you say o ye no so kura afiri ho no ma ye nyina ye chi krom ha si ye nim ye mami why bribia atwam constitution ye clear kwan a ye be fa so eden anya chief justice Ghana ha si se koba no other supreme court justices constitution so san ye clear ho na wo constitution through the constitution wo be chief justice wo sorry ya wakoto pen any paper akot na dan cheni ba bi atro nipa bi mu din say wo the akoma president say on appoint sankrofo no like how sane ye no wan kasa no wasua emra enim sane emra nsitie adenti esa wo tirase say president appoint sankrofo no wa abrekwa unim say constitution no ka say president be appoint other supreme court justices say or consulted with judicial council no advice no consulted with the council of state na parliament they approve it. This is the process.
Yeah.
And then tia ekoba no say wo after say you appoint you awie no wotimi ye too autonomous ebenya that powers ne say obetimi atro nipa bi mudi e de akoma president say on appoint be say then ni ma sa autonomy no aden constitution ya atro no foforo enti sa ayi offense Francis for ya na no be call demonstration no beni basua mra beni mra e ban say
therefore
ayi MPP for asem me kan e ban say ni MPP for ahole ho fiamra enimra na otimi tena ase ehwe say obi mom akotena dan cheni ba bi atro ayi offense edin di akoma president say appoint sankrofo no emfa be mra ayi supreme court. Now to I am that time Godfrey Odame etro e the support say ne maame e ka no sa recommendation na maame no e ye no e good and the one so who could demonstration emfa so be ni wo so
samo
emfa so be ni wo so yi offense baba petition president say onyi maame no mfi onum no ebi mo aka about foreign travels maame no aya watuatua pedie mu ne nasefo de amono anemba ene na busuafo eye violation of the constitution ni nyina no che ho no ehwe say nipa no aye sad no see I don't blame them that much sa krono na babbo no krom ha ya ende Ghana for ayiba free honum no the only hope and ya mami
oh really
the hope yeah bani da so kese no any eye mami enti badwen kire be say mami free honum pe abo akoko mfrema abobeto what you say akoko asense wahu enti se mami free ho pe beto bedadi
I see
enti woni ne ye obi a be feel say obetimi aden obetimi akata beto eni nti abeye ne beye no enya sa demonstration abekọ no emfa so bia ni sunyansa bia ni.
All right mesa ba ho no mo bia na ba me call Ivan Lucius say akoko sense from abobeto tibeto adedi I don't know enra demonstration no and the happenings within the demonstration and the outcome of the demonstration, is it worth it?
Yeah, Jabi, they can mention na mention what here for mention Lucius. Na menka say so here constitution ye di juma e wo krom ha are famously known as the 1992 constitution demonstrations, protestations, remonstrations, and those are legitimate political tools. And I said democratic tools. We are dissatisfied with anything going on within the democratic sector. Me, I employ to register your displeasure. And the demonstration I've always maintained, say, even if the cause is foolish, because it's democratically, you find the saying, endorsed tools people can employ within a democracy. Allow people to demonstrate freely because that is their constitutional right. More a source from the constitution, and that particular right must never be suppressed. So I was very happy when the IGP cleared them, and the who's Attorney General, so the state Babontin said they are free to go, and you come back to what we've been experiencing in the last 8 years. The president of the day, now President Akufo-Addo, or by year popular in this country, the gentleman who rose to political prominence through demonstration, demonstration, and or the JD. But surprisingly, under him as the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, we saw how people were assaulted. Journalists, individuals. Oliver, you say wakutu police for khaki. Young people of this country were so peeved about the turn of event in terms of galamsey activity. Taking the bull by the horn, decided, oh, this is our country, this is our future. Demonstration. These young people were arrested. They were detained and denied bail. It took another demonstration, a whole lot of public advocacy, and some issue, Ni was part of the people.
That's true.
Oliver and other people were assaulted because they demonstrated. And then Afenyo Markin and Co. had a free ride. And they did a demonstration across the length and breadth of this country, walk all the way to the presidency. And the chief of staff, deputy chief of staff, approached them and even spoke to them. And you be a you click your mind back during the last 8 years.
I see.
Because we lived in a country demonstration by a no-go area. But then the same bunch of individuals who said there is the need to us to do demonstration. Fine, I respect that, and that is it. And again, Afenyo Markin had a brush or an encounter with the police officer. The gentleman in question is not just an ordinary person. He's the minority leader of parliament. According to him, he's a lawyer. And then,
according to him,
he's a lawyer and several other he's a member of parliament. And as for he understands as a police initial police uniform that symbolizes the authority of the state.
With the beret.
You don't assault a police officer in a uniform. But in that video, we saw him in the past, not police if one demonstrators and as for by or no as a leader. Only member is assaulting a police officer in the presence of everybody. And then the gentleman quickly ran to TV station and said, the police officer rather assaulted him.
That is so shameful.
And then the video came out vindicating the fact he rather assaulted the police officer.
Very shameful.
I'm expecting it's good that the police has issued a statement they want it. But you see, some of these issues, yen to me and jab Brazil outside, because as a lawmaker, you are the law, you know the law, you legislate law. You cannot be engaging in this lawless act to the extent of attack a police officer in the uniform. This is something I expect condemnation from across board. What is a Ghana Bar Association issue statement? These are a bunch of lawless individuals. They are there political interest and more fine. Because JB, when this whole Chief Justice issue came up, and GB away, I shall say so issue statement. I was so very surprised because over the years, because in the last 8 years, the atrocities are unleashed on the individuals. When you use the court to frustrate people, when President Akufo-Addo first or pack court, known party people are inserted onto the judiciary. The GBA at the time couldn't find their senses to realize that Neema na papa no identity the credibility of your judiciary. Appointment na air course, there was a need. Abra Chief Justice for Akrata, Chodin, Churcho, and the non-for-4 and the former President Kufuor said, "Oh, appoint you to the Supreme Court." No, GBA could not condemn those statements, and there are several other things. Air course, and suddenly, no, if somebody has submitted a petition to the president, and I say, "Oh, go through the same liar," suddenly this bunch of cowards are once again barking like dog in the public space. They want people to, your friends, respect them. What would the kind of backlash or within your friends saying the media space?
Yeah.
That is what I'm telling you. The next generation, you can't threaten people with me a lawyer and no, those things don't move nothing. When you speak, the intellect you display. Okasa, kwanya be faso abekasa ne nsem a abeka na manipa wuze abrante o a lawyer na nyese lawyer sa akeke because lawyer ne enim lawyer wo jebi wa ponche yira sesia na wo de court enim lawyer abefre no and you from Supreme Court enim lawyer abefre na di wachi so lawyers no munyina anya pay. That is what you should know, you understand. But you see the kind of standard I set as a person, I think that is what you need to do as your friend saying as a person. But in this particular situation, you know, the whole thing turned into some kind of a political way. I say, and for me, that is very shameful. And to say, GBA, our legitimate grounds, nanko mwaba no say, hey, the ekosi because of ABCD, you know, President Mahama afum way and answer wafum way. Then we have a cause to worry. But this is a legal institution, an association of lawyers. Speaking to constitutional issues, they are speaking like Sebi Obi Oye Fundaka na oka law one because Obi Oye Fundaka na on law. But these are lawyers speaking like that. You understand? Because if you are speaking about issues of law, you should be able to premise your argument on law.
Now, before I just want to clarify and emphasize on the Afenyo marking issue.
Okay.
At the time Afenyo marking one demonstrated as a member of parliament.
Okay.
He demonstrated as an individual.
Okay.
So he doesn't enjoy any immunity.
Okay.
The police have every right to arrest him rather than inviting him.
No. With the mistake of Moya and say at the spot, you know.
Yes.
They should have arrested him on the spot. But we janu we na dia chiswa or so you cannot arrest him. That is the thing. So that is how ineffective our police is also here to a certain extent. You see, we very often cow them under political intimidation as well. Because an ordinary person assault to a police officer and immediately now much. So why can't we do the same thing? Because we need to strengthen and empower state institutions just to ensure that it doesn't matter who you are, because say MP na or this you need to arrest that person and prove to him that he's not above the law. You understand? You don't allow him to go home and chest out, do radio, TV interview. The following day, when you're backlash, I feel the police for back to statements and I invite him. Who cares about that? I know the day, no. Or China, obviously, Abontino attack a police officer because an MP who is supposed to be a lawyer has led the way. And Parliament, so I think that they need to institute certain disciplinary measures within the House. Because you see, your friend saying, as a group be a breedy, a trainee criminals, safe haven, breedy this kind of people. Because you see, over the years, Parliament say, oh, we are honorable people, but in recent times, the conduct and the behavior of some people within the House, you know, are not only unparliamentary, but this very honorable. That is what I'm saying, is that most of them don't even deserve the prefix honorable. It's very shameful because say obiti parliament now engaging in some of these things, and you expect the general public to accord you the dignity and the respect you deserve. You are a joker, because when I see you, I will see you for who you are, not because you are MP. We MP until the end. Abraba with the MP but if you get out there and engage yourself in this kind of lawless actor, I know the day, you know, like any ordinary petty criminal out there, we will see you as a petty criminal, not honorable. So Parliament need to take certain decisive measures to ensure say some of these things and they need to make sure say they clamp down on some of these things. Oliver, you say Oliver ko social media ko chro bibiafa, your friend is saying Parliament, you have a privileges committee.
Yeah, sure.
When a deserved privileges committee more than this gentleman?
Saturday appointment committee and
exactly by the same Parliament. And I'm saying, sir, Parliament are losing the moral authority and the moral clout to call anybody say you're disrespectful, because the House, more or less, is becoming like an avenue of contempt individuals no mugum na brabo mobo no impugn the integrity of people out there. So you should not expect that people respect you for nema any way. And for me, that is the problem. So the speaker, our responsibility on country parliamentarians say teteno na ye de sa nema no hunu amamfo na me ye MP makacha said ne Pontius Pilate no mo said that dey che no samba biema obi be so no kon ka kire na bra wodi nkwasasem what asem na make no tell people respect ne ye demand from people. You cannot threaten people and say me MP nti respect me. And that is why most of these lawyers are also losing their very essence, because in the past they can be a lawyer, people are called them that sense of dignity, but in recent times some come on TV and they speak and the poverty of intellect they live in their wake. You've seen a couple of lawyers who sit on TV na omudia matem na no me hu say obide ya titi akotena TV so lawyer and na all turn ho asoba. And these are people the GBA will not even find any reason to sanction these people. Say you belong to a very dignified association. As a member, you cannot misconduct yourself in this manner, and for that particular reason, we are sanctioning you or doing this. You allow all these things to go on. After Asambana go to the other side of the political party, then all of a sudden the GBA comes in and issue a statement. And the statement is a funny one. It's not premised on anything sensible, because Sanka omutimi chire and say, oh, yeah, GBA. Yakomra no ma eda hono ya hu say the president Mahama ye ABC the wa form mra, and for that matter and the president should ye fen say on turn things around that. Then me ameti hay meba betena ha be defend say yes asema GBA can no crab because president Mahama form mra. But these are lawyers who are supposed to be in the know so far as the law is concerned.
Know better.
Yes, but they are advertising sheer and raw emotions instead of arguing law. In some of these are emotional sentiments being expressed. Because none of them has been able to come on TV to tell us exactly what the president what be that? No one say emotional campaign, emotional sentiment in as for no mutugum saaka kenyansa bi anim an association of 5,000 members. Now we know about 52 question them baby no mo pass resolution. One kasa organization we a serious organization. But there is no serious organization about from members up to 5,000. 52 never show up. A just organization na kasa no people no no what lose your clout. What lose your essence, because it is not an association of lawyers, a political movement that some people use for a certain parochial interest. And for me, that is what they are.
That shouldn't be so. They contribute to the society.
No, they are supposed to contribute to society. Listen, you know, if you go to other jurisdictions, you know what? People study law to advance the cause of society.
Yes.
In recent time, many of the politicians who are lawyers in our political space, you know what they do? Sometimes you listen to argument on TV and you yourself become more confused than the very people speaking. You understand? But you see, because they are not arguing wisdom, they are not arguing fact, they are not arguing law or evidence, they are arguing emotions based on where you stand across the political divide. And the NDC near MPP near and the direction of the law. We are not arguing in near mass and Nipabete. And for me, some of these things Emma Manfo lose respect in this country. So the GBA must realize that there is a sharp decline in terms of respect people have for them. And they need to do everything to bring their members apart. We need to become relevant in the eyes of the people. And can some nobody will question them if they've been able to premise their argument on something substantial, argument grounded in law. But Oba, and you're speaking raw out of emotions. There is nothing substantial, nothing sensible to be attributed to in Sabna Wokana. What do you expect me to do? And for me, that is the worry. So back to the MPP and the Chief Justice. You see, my culture says MPP is a sinking enterprise. It's a party that is diving into the sea. They have no relevance. They've lost their motto, everything. So now, no. That's exactly what they are doing. They are on the fullest course. And anything but this
is a democratic right.
And that is why Mr. T argument. But you see, the question is you are not demonstrating in the eyes of your friends saying some bunch of ignorant people. And the people are very much enlightened. Oh, yeah, demonstration. They want to know. I didn't will demonstrate it. And these are your facts. The fact is somebody has submitted a petition to the president. The president has followed through, submitted same to Council of State. Council of State has reviewed the petition, and the conclusion is next step of the process has to be activated, and that is exactly what the president has done. Somebody wake up and says the president not breaching constitutional procedures. The question is which procedure and what breaching? Consider me. Then we rectify it. You are unable to single out a single breacher. Do you think people will take you serious?
I see.
Nobody will take you serious. So you see, politics. You've gotten to a point. I think emotions are taking the larger part of the political discourse. You're politicking in this country, the major part of it has to do with emotions. And emotions, so in this space, our the intellectual table, whenever you go to the intellectual table with emotions, you only expose yourself and tell people how gullible and weak-minded you are. Because at that table, there is no room for emotions. The question they said, fact now what they but to substantiate your argument, and then they were and Mraba president for demonstration now. What are the bases? And they always say, oh, John Mahama say oba obey changes our the judiciary and then our chief justice in the first place. Nipo mo lose my appointment under John Mahama. Momododo. Oko konfanatia na no
professor
Okofie Oko Tamala Okofie the Ghana statistician na nkasa o had Okofie. So why are they not demonstrating? Are they not Ghanaians? Why do they have particular interest in the chief justice? So it will go to affirm the fact that under Akufo-Addo there was a deliberate attempt to pack the court. In case they exit power, they will be protected, and that's exactly why the MPP has taken this first entrenched position on the Chief Justice alone, because there have been a number of people victims under John Mahama. Right. Why are you not speaking for these people? Why the focus is always on the Chief Justice? It affirms the fact that indeed you have a particular interest. And JB, the call to reset the judiciary, that call John Mahama they say resonating with the larger section of Ghanaians peeved about the sinking image of our judiciary. For me, that is the foundational institution of our democracy. We can lose the judiciary, we can lose the executive and parliament. But one entity, very sacred, we cannot afford to do politics with it, is the judiciary. Right. And that is why Ghana for our calling said we need to sanitize this house just to make sure that it works for the people.
Very. I'm free endorsement, MMDC endorsement, so. We say, sir, MMDC endorsement, and can you consent Kaskasen be album? The entire American say, yes, assembly member, pay development, our electoral area. Now say, MC in ho, and I say DC in ho, and Pempino meetings call a bedding, even though a presiding member, any every meeting. Now, mum say, or free meeting as a DC in ho, and as a MC in ho. The Hobart discuss Biano, a bear. Ye were district Bebre or Honoma, Bam Puntu Akachi because of MMDC Huns and Sam. A Bua Honoma, Babako for endorsement, Babako Poto, na Bantua Mano. And T. Ne say, Besania day, reschedule, date, Now, okay, Adia Bakwa, Hadria, ASS Casemwe, and in Tia Ebimons war again say, Send your bay as Casemwin be through Honomo. One says, Obakaya, even both NPP and NDC Nano, Sir, I Yaka once and Pen said DC, say, ye open up. Sure. Nanka. Yanto best about to send here to MPC Swabano. Nka enumom no ebeyi sa monetization no afri honum. Because the whole district and as a municipal no ekoto so aba. Ebe de mpasse obetimi raise sika. Na wakotua dia ma obi a say on to aba ma. In actual fact, sometimes enkrofo abi o ha be kope MC and as a DC no. Sorry to say, ebi mo ho no be finances no eni soro sai wo fam. What you say, enti say obi ye memfa say bi a teacher ni or a nurse and I say be any business kakra krabi nanne oba bepe DC na ka say o metua sika ansana what aba mana ebedin so betimi anya sales kan but I think say adeba ko a ama political parties no entimu en committee to sa idea no say sia say obe open up na o ka say obi abetimi a contest ya say koba ne say NPP NDC ni wa ban sisi na say NPP ni ekofa form na o contest na say Owinia eno so mpuntu dwuma ebede obet sabotage government district hall.
And we can have cases like in the Volta region and Ashanti region.
Yes,
because Oko Volta region are heavily dominated by the NDC. Oko Ashanti region are heavily dominated by the NPP.
Yeah,
so obviously say NDC to so now Kokofa obi to say mayor ewo Kumasi now see into the swaba obviously NPP for be dominating at NDC.
Yeah,
and it's the same case in the Volta region.
Inti say Koba say bema mpuntu dwuma so ayeden ayeden.
Yeah,
wahu and inti asade no entimu nyeden entimu emba so no be me no mom no madesre dey amesre say assembly members no mom say betimi hwe sa na ema no yie because okofa government anase president nominate you bi e de no ba na say o say o ba be gisika ansa na what aba di amana kai hu say sa nipa we say no once I no so na dwen say ope NC adi ne de kwan obefa so a obenya sa o 4000 say 2000 no e de ama no obefa so no de de o de ama eno no achi no ba bia scan free bia no say ekọ
wetebeka
say scan no sanko back kwan ba ne obefa so akọ back ene ne ye sa sika bi na ayi week bia MC le homa me bia 40000 adan ya all weekends me kwa yi weekends me kwa weddings a man for best ram ofie so what tati sansen so MC and I said DC or district one we have district we have just what you say development ankasa wo from a newly created area district kura obekọ be assembly hall no bibia enhedani ho enso na MC di bia ha 50000 kofie every week or the 30000 ekofie every week wa abrakwa nkasa sika be betimi ache no e de aye enema bi wo district honum enti mesre se na be ya abenso be betimi hold the MCs no na say DCs no accountable na transparency e be ya adwuma no be modern say benso no be betimi aye clean in their dealings with MCs no se na be ya ochina bi no onko e say go say wo abaji sika free nipa no ho waje 4000 and say 2000 free nipa no what aba ma no say ochina bi obeto na say odi nsem hunu a wo kan ho asem enye yi because in the first place no one kasa we corrupt what you say me edo na free home na me de aba code of conduct no
yes
and no president mama clear e wo ne niema bi ho enti obia ahu minua ye nyina corruption ya ka ho asema bia ya eden ya dre ene yanya president or you committed na waka say enough is enough near Ghana for MP eye krono aban bi a atwamu kɔ no saa niema na chese ekokokoso from ayi president no so ekosi the last ayi appointee no now constitution na yedi ebu man no constitution no chese say we are eligible appointee anasa ya appoint you say bra na be di dwuma ewo man no mu a say utimi ya den declare or asset any liabilities what you say I think say article 286 you know say u declare or asset now say we be declare enkrofo a say be declare the president vice president speaker of parliament members of parliament any chief justice when as for no as any ministers as be declare so ayi aban ya watwam ya MPP aban yi there was a timer for estate for actually the command or the service say be person be hu and government appointees are but declare be asset ewo Ghana high see Emma Ben so be about 350 pages 2 booklets of Nkrofo abe declare be asset e de brebe now ben we move ebe there say out of the appointees and another appointee ni nyina no emu 19 pe na ba declare be asset.
I see. 19
wabrakwan even the vice president impo as at that time no na wa declare ni asset twice but say o hwe asset declaration na say appoint wa wabrakwan be appoint no say o declare say term no ko ender say o declare ni o hwe the time na fourth estate for enya document na that time that was somewhere 2022 honum. What you say? Entina ya to about the NPP for the first time. No basin about the second time. Tinka anya hwe kra no. Enka appointees no esen ka ba declare 3 times. But vice president na anka samuamu. No wa declare twice. Meaning it's a time na eba be ko end no. But term no ba be ko end no. Na won declare. Or say chairman sabonso no a majority leader. No one soon declare. Ayi finance minister no one soon declare. What you say? Enti sa niema we mu nyina ka ho bi ma the other appointees no hu se o kwan dam ye betimi aye de ye pe ema ebi mu timi kwototo fie wa abreko a chese efie anipa no tokora mpo unhye da hu ade kropochi a ode yen so o timi kwagina ni nam to fie be 27
so niska wo ska nan ka beto ne
good se nan ka se nipa no sa asset declaration no se ye de check o niema bi. What you say, answer na obeba abaimu no. Say we declare asset. Even though the audit service no, is not supposed to make it open. And you can say obia who say, oh ba no na bia our car, oh fear we will say. Now mo niema na obe declare no. Ewo ho. What you say? Or china bi se bibi kosi a te senka danfu ya okoto fie 27 say no. And ka fe de ba be hwem say, answer na obeba no. Na fie be na wo. What you say? No, ultimate who be fee be 20 crampo. Ne ultimate to fee 27 na nke
reasonable.
Reasonable. What you say? But be American fee ba akupe bi no wo. But ene no ultimate nya sika koto be 27. Obi tin ko han fee 12 years advance. No atwiaka. What you say? Your friend is saying Xmas 3 airport. Na obi Christmas tree keke na etimi cost o man about 128,000 Ghana cedis. What you say? Den tree nko ane odi DS masa etimi cost about 128,000. Wahu enti ene no President Mama ka say even hampers mo na asiforu bia no ene tin ton time no and you all can cry say one anyone can say ebro 20,000 Ghana cedis.
Yeah.
Ebo bia nso enyusu government fund and say internally generated fund.
So on the kwai. On the kwakwa hampers. Me de gift you obi and say dabi because anema no ekoso oh we de yenya na ye de kobo nipa we abaso ye de command ni person asi na ba atena se na ba hyehyɛ te send a Christmas tree about 28,000 Ghana cedis den tree nko a na dasani bosome nko ba yawo a ene wanyini akɔ school na ye de akɔdua adwuma no all me de saska a ente se akɔye Christmas tree ye nyina ye nim se sansem no na enye nokre but kwan a amanfo fa so edi wia oman no. What you say? Until no, President Mama Eka say obi kura be gift you. Na say ebro 20,000 Ghana cedis. Sa gift na say sikano. Your mind de declare mo obi an hu say company na say institution na oda no. Ade bia sumasi ne and I think say enra me who say ye the cast bi mu be chair president and also no what declare. Entini say ebro 20,000 Ghana cedis nko ade a enya wo de. Even for instance, Hamidia General, to say be a Lucius Sabahano say na no maybe 1,000 or 2,000. It's a my HR and then paying for you. Watch a miska. And see, and you say influence good me thoughts in me.
Wow, say,
your portion of a miska, because I could declare.
Martin,
oh yeah, that's me. I mean, I want it to know. Say me more declare. You see, and so the better and conflicts with your Juma now.
Yeah.
Aha. Lucius and Madame for one by her. wama miska na BBS na Lucius say make wasem na because of his Canada ability that's why make wasem no but all the man so I say me makofo hu say o discuss e dia mame HR ehu me manager say omuhu na fe me declare to me ka say bia oh ene fa dia fa ana say bibi foforo bi wo ho no so even as I mean as private institution here na how much more government official
sure and I think say NC hwa mienra President Mama eka say or share 31st March say obia mfa declare ni asset sa 31st March no or no ne source HN say enipa bi mo anase appointees inu bi mo enya declare eninti ade na edikan a obey say wa ma be another timeline which is Wednesday Wednesday say declare what asset and no crampo no che say ba be appointee be before 31st March no say be declare ya wadi kan ka say appointees no bia emfa ne 1 month pay enko ayi mama ke no enti ba be no so bantimi and declare be asset before the 31st March nanso ya appointee be before 31st March no ben so be forfeit 3 months enti babo sumi akatua no miensa bebe forfeiting enya dia aban no e de be mabe ebe ko mama ke enti e kira won say 1 wadi kan kasa appointees no bia de 1 month pay e ko honom ni tu wasan so abreach enti sa wo de emu 3 ebe de enti na che so betua 4 what you say 4 months pay me ebe ko mama ke and I think say president here Bonabaso was a commitment we are why because ankane na enkoba bia because sometimes we say president na nkasa den na oye enti say president no ye bia eno nso ma ayi offense other appointees no akwanya say oh yansi yetimi yeden yetimi eyebi enti ne si aba benya president ya all kase dabi say obia etimi kire niema owo ansa na oba ban mu ne obeduru aban mu nso no say term no yakọ enda o term of office no yakọ enda say otimi kire niema owo a say timbo na baso because enya Newton yenya yenim say constitution no sa ne constitution no kire nanso na enya de yetimi eden yetimi ebiso ema ne yi.
But I say Lucius a member of the NDC communication team but let me say a very good morning to Miaminia, the editor and the Punch newspaper. Foster, you see, good morning to you. Afenyo marking at the release Bidiaba calling on the IGP to investigate near a course. So I say petition for investigation and disciplinary action against Constable Forcing. For assault at Parliament House during the Save the Judiciary demonstration. So, God refer to Sunobia and Kebi, Namiya Maba, Ivan Hodomunafe, Ivan Edenidia. But say, I hereby formally petition your office to investigate and take appropriate disciplinary action against Constable Forcing, a tall, fair, and heavily built officer who was stationed at the entrance of the Parliament House to provide security during today's Save the Judiciary demonstration. Constable Forcing assaulted me at the entrance of the Parliament House during the demonstration. So this is Afenyo marking Eka said. To address this incident and correct misleading narrative circulating in the public domain, I have issued a public statement detailing the events as it occurred. I rely on the said statement, which is hereby attached for the information and further action, counting on your cooperation. Your faithfully, Osahene Alexander Kwabena Afenyo market. Iti odo ena senya kukudro de letter de command the IGP say or investigate now on taking disciplinary action against Constable Forcing our heavily built or assaulted during the Save the Judiciary demonstration. Anyway, so Ivan, back to you now. Minim say be better tackle this issue, and I say you call the monetization in the endorsement of the MMDCs and declaration of assets. Any of them?
I think this thing should be disregarded with the contempt they deserve. And you see, the caliber of people. A letter now to Afenyo market letter. The caliber of people we are talking about. This is a video that is circulating.
Yeah.
A man for more di who dance here. What happens? It's not just about a video because every video needs to be captured. They see you know. But there were people there, journalists and as a phone will be wo. Why now Babon because a police officer indeed attacked this gentleman? Oh, what superior evidence? And I'm telling you, sir, the reason why young people today don't respect people working with honorable, these are some of the things. Dishonorable character, they lack candor, they lack integrity, and these are dishonest bunch of individuals. Claudio with political power, and they think they are sitting on the moon. And I think the coming days in the Behu with the monetization, I'm not sure anybody is surprised. Because my culture that I say, the entire political landscape, has been monetized.
No, but is it not worrying?
It's a creeping culture.
Yes.
I am Godfrey.
John Dramani Mahama, who is the president, duly elected, Akwakoyi Nanemusini, say Mukotu Swaba, now government appointees, any assembly members are more endorsed on number sounds
No.
5,000, 4,000, 3,000 each.
No, you should understand it's a culture I created that. So people think it's a normal thing. When you create such a sick culture and nobody act on them, we normalize it. In recent time, you know how monetization is taking the center stage of our politics. And I've told you, sir, because of that, I give you a lot of idiots take it to enter into the political space because they have money. They speak and you become warriors. Now we're not free in or politics who make decisions, but because they have money. Because we don't vet people where they got their money from. So the monetization, cripple that culture, and access and some of these things are normal. So for you shouldn't be surprised. It's a normal thing. So we call your parliament and for within political party. But say we have political structure the most corrupt group of people who are your political party delegate. How they start free. Your political structure is a corrupt group of people who a political party delegate, because that is why the whole corruption started from.
Are equally guilty?
That is why I'm telling you.
Delegates
no, and they too, if you don't give it to them, they will not vote for you. So JB, that is the culture that has been created. And in Nippon be free constituency or Baba MP take it. No, I can't wabogu hono. And yakaketwa. And again, Wababa MP now call constituency. Let me say on the weekend we MP. Would you want to fundaka hodo abetono because obi obebia mebusu anie wo baji sika free ho obi kwa wedding obi kwa adore. So we've created the whole thing to look like say it's a money venture nipa no kwa e sika puduo na ye odam enti bra na baji usika. And I don't say in such a way, say people who rise to political prominence, because they don't serve people. No, if I don't take my pound of flesh at this time, no. What are some American?
Yeah.
And they will do everything because, for instance, DC now, if we're not doing say, someone and taking a pound of flesh and now, or Yako, we are offering no crown fact. You see that kind of way, no? So that is the culture, and you don't blame the people no more general. You don't blame the HR, you blame the system that we have created.
Ivan, the most unfortunate aspect they say a DC can be sacked tomorrow. So you go and pay like what call mobilize about 100 or 200 or 300,000 or 400,000. Now they are called assembly members. No matter swaba. That's if you are in the news and in your news neighbor and you're as a president at his own discretion, he can just sack you. No,
you live. If you understand politics, they live by the moment. So they live by the moment. You understand? So you do everything to secure your position.
But I mean, about more than 500,000 or 600,000 citizens. They are talking say, may they call election or may they come here to me swab or something like that.
No,
I mean sometimes some of these things.
No, you don't blame. And I'm say you don't blame them. There is a culture, a sick culture we have created. Say, you may have all the brain in the world, all the intelligence, all the ideas. If you don't have money, you cannot survive in the political arena. And that is why the state must do everything to ensure that we crack down on some of these things. Are you saying that within the assembly people know that they are not paying money?
Yeah, they know.
So who is acting on them?
And Medina losing bonus. some part of eastern region. Mirror few other contests. No mutual losing bonus. Oko other part of the regions or more endorse or more MDCs now. Most of them, and even some of them even came out to say first one they no musu so 5,000. And the Kokoba say or more assembly members in the region say Oko be a few Koko did scandal. Yes, somebody did you know. This is scandal. I'm a Sandia Mamunti. Mufaba me. The moment did you want their mom. Unfortunately, that person's name wasn't mentioned. And when we continue like this, the system will not be well taken care of. About the politics now a very romantic or lucrative venture for everybody to just step in, just all in the name of money. Innocent.
Yeah, so and I who say politics in any partner, my culture say human beings, if you don't create framework, are about regulating the way they act. Every human being who has potential to collect to their destructive best. We are very dangerous people. Human being was not created to be good. We were created to learn to be good. Naturally, we were all born bad. You understand? So you need to create systems and institutions to regulate human behavior. So once me and yes, I name on as a state, I don't expect man say on his own he will do the right thing. Because there are those you need to learn to be good, but to be bad there you don't learn it. That is why we say untrained criminals. We train people to be good. So until such system number say as I'm making sure say we fuck crime this way to Sanyama we say and some way okay who doesn't know Obianim. So this is what goes on within our system. Political party answer the we by political party events a candidate for a political party now can as for our boy and now the so another day people are more what they take. The skills, the intellectual know-how to be able to help to navigate through this stormy circumstances, because they don't have cash, they will sit back and watch people who have money to go in and destroy the state for us. And that's exactly what we've been witnessing in recent times. Party chairman, constituency chairman, wine chairman. See the caliber of people coming up.
Yeah.
And some of these idiots very soon, because they have money, they will tell you that they want to be president. Because they have cash. So there is no room for intellectualism, that kind of merit. Nipano the ability to do. The space, has been hijacked by these high-stake bidders. They have money and they can do everything. NSA use and system to deflate this and then tell people say governance leadership is never about money. It is about people who have the ideas, people with vision. Driver. Because if you go out there and sell that particular thing to Obia, for instance, me pay MP, me constituency. Now, but Jimmy Sikana me talk me the man we na me ko we. Can you come to me and say me baby ma? Because I can't mabono. Some of them are owning the banks. Some of them are owning the banks, huge sums of money. Some have taken money from loan sharks and they are paying. They have to pay. Obi have sponsor or any contract be a family. That's what they do. You understand? So some of these things, explain how ineffective the whole system has become. Now, Chroma it me a quine. After 1 year na kwana say what be say ho de ntia because nipa na oye kwan no kata ya gigi afrim sika na kana kakra bi so you see niama ya kan nyina are just symptoms o dwell on that you make a mistake a systemic way be I engulf your system say corruption is endemic and is pervasive. What are some of the approach you may go after some of these things to ensure say we distill corruption even if we cannot defeat it we reduce it to a barest minimum and me affect the focus of this nation, and that is what we need to do. And yes sir, there can just portions of it. Yafa DC, the way there corruption going on everywhere. A parliament during the approval and over the years we've been hearing this or say somebody called him to bribe the side and you understand?
Yeah, sure.
As somebody investigating here. Even parliament that accusation came up till date nobody investigated. You understand? So for me, a culture creative and we seem comfortable with it and it explains why the state is sinking. We really need to be very ready and say, enough of this creeping culture. I ain't go for your political winner. I put you away the intellectuals away because no decent-minded individual me constituency me pay MP. Na mabetie sika ma men yet. I won't give you one city because me walk crab into your because me we are me serve. And if I'm coming to serve you, what should I pay? You understand? And that is the culture that we need to institute. For instance, if you go out there, Ghana has if people want to go into the army, for instance, look at some of the bright people pay. But in America and other places, if you sign up, they give you bonus. for signing because it's a risk adventure in a woko siki. You can lose your life, you can lose your leg.
Yeah.
What I say? But why should a young man in Ghana was dedicating who say I want to be in the army should go and pay bribe? And what about them? Police officer or call police who so bribe or we are going bank and I'm robber bar on the first target to be kuno. Or the brilliant van nimni a man started to Gold Coast to a in the nine so I'm robber bar, I'm robber nukra, pistol or chia wakuno. This is a risk these people are taking and you are telling them say or no make you bribe and sign off on a police officer. Oh more damn. These are things we've normalized in this country, you understand? People who sign for police would rather be given bonus. Yeah. So because of our core army, we should give them bonus, not bribe from them. But the culture we've created no normal. Everybody is aware. The political class, everybody is privy to this sick culture. I ain't go for your political way, no, but we seem normal. So for me, this whole monetization thing, no, we need a conscious, deliberate effort. The framework to me, I deal away with all these things, but all facets of society, or be called police agent bribe, or call soldier agent bribe, or call customer agent bribe, nursing agent bribe,
nursing training and nursing policemen.
And if you go to some of the universities, some of the programs they
terrible.
Do, or Nim said they are taking 20 people, they will sell form to 2,000 people and take their money. And who are buying that way? I don't know that way. If you go to some of the universities, they know say they have your fancy space for 200 students. They will sell form to over 2,000 people, shortlist about 1,005 for interview and take money from them. At the end of the day, you know, near for 200. And if the state institutions are robbing the people, how much more ordinary person? So system institution are setting up. And Robbie a man for a chrono enterprise and I setting a yet home. They are benefiting or no be no, they are benefiting no casa. And that is the sick culture that we need to deflate. With this asset declaration thing.
In the next I think 1 minute.
With this, for me, I think that the kind of impact that as you no, and for me, it is even becoming unnecessary because Nippon be declared assembly from the so nobody is verifying as a for We need some pragmatic approach. Say Nippon the bar. We need independent way. They will go and verify and know say because obi betime akobo send the cotton account.
Yeah, sure.
Obi betime akojo obi dan papers no was sign yan dey odua sika bia. People can do all these things because in the name say me ba me oni.
Exactly. Obi si dan obi we what trasa obi we.
Yes, and I make say criminals, first, and the criminals are very intelligent people, very sophisticated in mind. It's a very sophisticated enterprise. Who you fool, you not survive. So some of these people can maneuver their way.
Right.
The state need to institute measures to be able to verify and check all these things to know say indeed. Nippon and some now can I just church or never good papers. So the other one in church or never good papers.
Let's just 30 seconds now.
Okay. Yeah. Now I can work. Se option yeah this is assembly concept now. This is assembly concept no.
Why remember that? Why be that?
That be but option say yes your structure na. Okay come up okay come up because here say offer assembly concept now over the local level no crime pona assembly members any unit committee for enka enye partisan. Enti ho mom ni ade no yese nke start free wahu na mom de tie say ade na ye ka se enye partisan no se ekoduru se ye be ye assembly elections a political parties nso ebe kwa akoye dey co-sponsor.
That is very
watch as enti no from the word go no the oil unit committee member and say assembly member ewo electoral area honum no or no eye ayi politician. What you say? Now, the who was secretary we muno, say Ekobani say, oh, district be now Ebia dominated by who party a woman fancy NDC was CCA. Now, Bako district be no assembly members are better honum. Do na ye me fancy MPP for a child say, Sababa Sababa endorse ya Beba to a what you say? And you also won't pay no santino. You are compelled to also pay. Nanka sa Nanka at the local level no unit committee for no be neutral. Assembly members a neutral. Ninka yedi eko the top hierarchy no which is the MMDCs no so and ka be kotwa ba and kanya dia asa sika twa we mu anase sika gige we mu nyina be dey ebebam na assembly members no do na no se obekọ local level no or no so kra the unit committee for nka as to when obekọ meeting what is being discussed at the meeting no bia no beba na they don't account for anything. Say be a call a can say analysis that Benya Sadino. What I say, and to me say, and who be some a bit more can say, and ye assembly concept, no, a good pa. I never could pet Momia say, yes, nay, if you say, a could drew assembly elections now, and Cayenne politicians the back. What I say, Nani Pano Elco as a neutral person. Say, or bet me a servo near electoral area. Say, be assassin on who say. Or that potentials na say credibility no so betimi serve na se betoma na enu mo mbeboa assembly no sense bia ebe shebachi na nipa be wi nya wi na ono no nso no eba be ye niam bi se asna ba betia aban no